a couple of other picks, so we'll have to keep our eyes on that. But the jungle matchup has been locked in here, and Airwaks actually opting not for any kind of team fighting, opting for his second most picked champion of Kindred.
Yeah, 3 games played, all of them losses. I mean, when you got 13 losses, there's going to be a bad win-loss ratio, but you know, I don't mind it so much. When I think of Airwaks as a jungler, I do feel that he's a relatively aggressive player. He tends to try to get in your opponent's face, and I quite like the Kindred into Gragas relatively early. If he manages to get some support, you've got a pushing lane of the Sivir, you've got Poppy that can do relatively well early on, especially against a Trundle, if they get standards.
The other thing here is that the Kindred isn't really the role that's going to be tanky right now in this game. They've got an Alistar, they've got a Poppy as well, so it's actually fine to go that route, get a little bit more damage now, and they've left that blind pick for mid lane now that we have seen what Giants are opting for.
And it is the Azir, so xPePii was one of the first players to play Azir back before it was cool. And Betsy played it yesterday now that it is cool to pick up a win. LeBlanc is available if he wanted to run something like that into it. But I don't really know.
Lissandra's up. I mean, Corki's not available for Betsy. If Betsy just picks something with some lane presence, I don't think Giants are going to get to the late game to actually have this Azir become active. And, you know, that's been the biggest problem for Giants, is how fast they've lost games the last couple of times they've been on this stage. I like the Lissandra pickup here, if they do indeed go for it. Gives you the security against any Azir all-ins fairly early on. Gives you pick potential and the ability to play with a Sivir ultimate now. Sivir, Alistar, Lissandra, everything wants to go in. And this could be, you know, Roccat setting up for a fairly quick game.
The one thing I do like about Rocket's team composition is multiple damage threats. Lissandra, Sivir, Kindred, even Poppy to a certain extent. And then Giants, they're a little bit more committed to this Azir Lucian combo with maybe Smitty J splitting off on a side lane. So I think there's options here. But I quite like, the skirmish possibilities that Roccat can put forward.
I do as well, Trev. They've kind of got one focus and it's going all in. And the Giants right now, this is a game that they have to play that could go quite well when it comes to their preparation, because when we look at challenger games, typically what teams run is compositions that want to run at you, get some kills, and look to roll over you. There's not a whole lot of macro play when you look at tower trading and you know, sidewave pushing in Challenger. It doesn't happen as clean as we see it in the LCS, so if they can get a win against a composition like this, the Giants may have some hope in that series against Copenhagen Wolves.
Well, we'll have to see if they can play the map, because it's something they've not really been able to demonstrate. Over the last 2 weeks, they've lost all 3 of their games in an average of 23 minutes, which is an incredible time, and it just shows you how they're struggling, not only on a map perspective, but even from an individual player versus player, as they're being outclassed by the rest of the LCS. Will this be the final hurrah for Giants? Hashtag GIA win. Or will Roccat set us up for a tiebreaker with Splice? At the end of the day, that's what we've got to find out. Roccat, the favorites in this game. And thanks to Origin winning the previous game, it means we have a maximum of 2 games. Stress, that's all we can see.
Yeah, and unbelievably, by the way, there is one timeline of the 4 that remain that we have no tiebreakers.
25% chance?
That would be if Giants win and G2 win.
All right, so that means no tiebreakers?
Yes, so.
I don't think that's the one I'm voting for. 75% chance for tiebreakers, I'm down for that.
I mean, normally I would go into a game, and even like when you look at a team that has 2 wins, a team that has 4 wins, you'd think, well, okay, that's actually one that could go either way, right? For me, though, the biggest problem with Giants is we're 9 weeks in, and they don't have a style. They talked about it back in week 6, you know, we don't know what style we should be playing, we're running out of time. Well, sorry guys, time ran out, and you still haven't found it. You haven't found the meta, you haven't found your own play style that you want to play, and the problem is they've made so many changes right now that their style seems to be just try and patch things together and see if it holds, and unfortunately it just hasn't held for them at all.
The really interesting question will be whether or not all of the struggles and the adversity that the Giants organization has faced will be able to teach the players going into the promotion tournament, because that's where all the eyes will be. We'll talk about the impact of that in a moment or two as Noxiak and Tabzz hold hands and waddle into Sonstar and Hustlin's lane. They interrupt the Grump. Nobody went for the Krugs either. So.
But Tabzz gets the push, is the thing that comes from this, is Tabzz is able to get to the lane first with Ricochet. They have Alistar, of course, he can take the relic stack, so already Roccat have about half a minion's health difference, which doesn't sound like all that much, but it does add up.
It does, especially in the race to level 2 when you've got Alistar.
Ooh, very interesting. Tabzz is opted for the Bloodlust coming from the Runes of Masteries. I know a lot of the
a few times this weekend.
We have seen it, especially on Sivir. We've seen it a lot more, especially seeing it in Korea. LCK are playing a lot with it. I know a lot of the AD carries here in Europe are favoring Fervor just for the extra damage. I mean, we were speaking to Forgiven yesterday on the desk, and he was like, "Man, why would you give up the damage that comes from Fervor? Like, that's like over 100 damage when we get there. Like, come on, give me that. I want to be able to get the kills rather than just stay alive. I trust in my mechanics a lot more."
I'm all about the critter shade.
Yeah.
That's what I'm at. Sivir carried me through my placements, and I'm a big fan that she's back in the meta. Press R to win. It's a great mechanic, but talking about pressing buttons to win, double teleport for Roccat. So they're going to be playing those side lanes. Have the option to do so as Airwaks makes an enemy of the dragon with a small dance of arrows. And of course xPePii running the flash cleanse. I don't think that's a major surprise into a Lissandra lane. But got to see how he impacts the lane, because Airwaks, so he's already coming in for a little gank. Hop, a skip, a jump, a wolf bite, and xPePii loses a lot of HP.
And all that stems from Airwaks initially pushing into the jungle. xPePii kind of half panics and goes, okay, well, if I have to want to come across, I have to deny Betsy, so I need to shove that wave out. Airwaks didn't actually get caught the first time. He just hopped over the wall, comes back for the repeat gank, because xPePii, if he wants any of the farm that was in the wave in front of him, he had to push up for it. The fact that xPePii has to run cleanse here now punishes him, because Betsy got the recall at the same time and got the farm from mid lane as well. He TP'd back to lane. He knows that wouldn't really have been utilized for the first cooldown time. Gets himself back with the lead.
Yeah, so well played. Small advantage in that lane matchup. I mean, Azir does need a little bit of time to scale up. Can push the wave. It's somewhat equalized by Lissandra's wave pushing power. Well, small pause.
Hopefully a small pause.
Yeah, that's true. I shouldn't actually say that without knowing, right?
Well,
the risk is great. We did catch a very brief glance of Smitty J into Fred. It's toe-to-toe lanes, even CS for now. But I want to see how that unfolds, because I think I prefer Trundle when it comes to playing the map. I obviously prefer Poppy when it comes to team fighting. But in these two teams' hands, I actually think the roles are somewhat reversed. Because I think Smitty, with his team comp, maybe wants to team fight, and Freddy has been known for being alone in a lane for a long period of time. So it's quite interesting that like player and champion like role swap.
That's fairly true, but when you look at this composition from Roccat, man, if they catch somebody out of position with Sivir, Alistar, Lissandra, Kindred, Poppy, you can just say goodbye to them before they ever try and get themselves out of there alive. So Roccat are going to look for small numbers and see if they can group on multiple people. Just take them out. I actually don't think Roccat have a particularly bad team fighting composition themselves. Take into account Sivir damage in team fights, as long as she somewhat gets ahead. Gragas and Braum can be problematic for her later. Braum just kind of blocks everything, and Gragas just stands there and takes it.
Yeah. I want to see how well Hustlin can perform, because yesterday left a lot to be desired. You can see Betsy on your screen at the moment. There is a graphical related bug in terms of Azir, which the guys are just busy looking into, restarting those clients, and got the QA guys on stage. So we'll let you know how that resolves.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? That's what Betsy's thinking.
Oh, that's what Batman's thinking, because in about a week and a half, he's going to be answering that question. Too meta, not meta enough?
Come on, that fight. Everybody on the internet has always had that debate, though. Don't watch the trailer. This is PSA to anybody. If you are wanting to, have everything not spoiled in the movie, do not watch that trailer.
Yep.
I don't know why, but Hollywood has decided to put spoilers in trailers recently. It's annoying me. But there hasn't been too much of a spoiler in this game yet, when you look at it.
Standard lanes
for Roccat, though, in both mid and bot.
We're going to be in for an extended laning phase, which I don't mind seeing too much, because you can get a better taste of player ability, mechanical, decision making. And just as an update, all of the players are just disconnecting and reconnecting to the game. Once they've all refreshed their game clients, we'll do a quick little pause on pause, make sure it's working, and hopefully get back into this one. Because, yeah, we've already touched on sort of all of the importance of the game. Roccat, if they win, because of the fact that Splice lost earlier, will guarantee themselves a tiebreaker for that 8th, 9th seed. And it sort of gives them the power to control their destiny in seeding for promotion tournament.
Yes, man, seeding is so critical right now. I know a lot of people will look at this and think, oh, Giants and Roccat, well, Roccat should have that one, right? That should be a done deal. Giants are struggling, so I know that maybe it seems like, a straightforward one, but obviously you've got to play the game out. Coming into this week, we looked at a lot of games and we're like, well, Vitality take this one, H2K take that game. These are easy wins, and yesterday, the world got turned upside down.
My quick picks got wrecked, got absolutely wrecked. I made what I thought were safe predictions.
Safe?
I really thought what I made were safe predictions and how the standings were going to go, and I could not have been more surprised.
Just when you thought it was safe to go on the telestrator.
It's not worth it.
Nope.
Because then, you just sit there and I'm like, yeah, there's no ways that, Rockat's going to be Vitality. Nope. And they do. And, there's equal parts to this, right? Because Vitality made mistakes, but Roccat were able to punish.
Yeah.
Roccat were able to, even with the Renekton, win team fights. And that was in large parts because of Betsy's Azir yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, game-winning play, I kind of have to look at Airwaks, but you were right, the Azir was a big, big part of it.
Yeah, Airwaks manages to find the pick that secures the kill and wins the game. And we are back into the game as the reconnects seem to have resolved that graphical-related issue. Hustlin blocks off that boomerang blade from Tabzz, and we're going to get back into this standard laning.
So second game we're seeing from Hustlin, second game of Braum. Yesterday he was playing super far forward in the lane, trying to maybe look for a dive with the Giants, and honestly that was what kind of ended up putting the game so far in Fnatic's favor. He got hooked in, that was kind of all she wrote on that one. I want to see more from Hustlin. He's a player that we haven't really seen too much from. Played on Giants underdoges, which is kind of the challenger team that the Giants have had, and they never made it really into Challenger Series. They had a showing in the qualifiers, but weren't really up to that level. And it's honestly something that I was looking at a team like Giants of, well, if you've got these two teams, why is there a situation where the players you're building aren't coming from your second team? And finally we're starting to see it, but it's so late on in the season.
Yeah. We'll have to see if it has any impact. Because unfortunately yesterday Origin looked in a completely different class.
They look the same as they look today.
Yes,
I would say.
I think that's very, very true. It's a different mid laner. But props to Peke for stepping in, listening to the team, apparently saying they wanted his picks. And Peke's like, well, I'm not sure why, but he managed to make it work. Wisdom has snuck his way into this bush. The vision just out of range, so Roccat.
Sneaky.
Not going to see him. Body slam available, but the Winter's Bite does not find anybody.
Noxiak has pushed up. Wisdom's waiting for the time. Body Slam Flash would be available on Tabzz. You probably can't spell shield it coming out of the bush.
This is so long. I can't get over this. This dash forward. Sonstar manages to find the piercing line. Noxiak's in trouble. Exhaust flashes away. Summoner heal used as well. And after all that time, 3 summoner spells for 0.
That was, I mean, a lot used defensively from Roccat to stay alive there, but that was underwhelming from Wisdom. From as long as he spent down there. I mean, it's difficult to burst the spell shield first in this matchup. I mean, Hustlin would have had to have maybe looked to try and get that Q out early and then lead into a body slam flash coming from Wisdom, but that was a rough one. Wisdom spent a lot of time down there. If they can capitalize now on those summoners being down, that will be the difference.
Yes, that's what I'm looking to see. Whether or not Giants are able to punish the lack of summoners. They do have Sonstar and Hustlin getting closer and closer to level 6.
Closer, but he's not there yet. Wisdom now is 6, so we'll have that ultimate available if that happens again. Smitty J is 6 with teleport, as is Freddy. So fairly standard game, standard lanes here as well. And, I mean, we haven't had a lane swap, and we've had about the same amount of action as you would expect on a lane swap. One attempted gank, one in the mid lane from Airwaks as well, but these two teams are being very slow to begin this game.
The junglers Neither jungler's got the ability, like maybe pre-6 to really want to fight. They both want access to their ultimates. They both want their items to start scaling up. Airwaks has got 1 or 2 stacks from his passive already.
You also look at it realistically, though. It's like, well, you've got a bottom lane with a Sivir. She's going to be able to kind of back away from everything with a
and
spell shield.
Alistar.
You got a mid lane with a Lissandra and an Azir, who both are able to get away from, you know, any unfortunate circumstances. And then top lane is just going to trade a little bit.
Top lane's a thing. Dude, I think we need to look at top lane. Thank you, observers. SmittyJ and Freddy, they're farming 70 to 65. They've both recalled, come back to lane, teleports are up. Both got access to their ultis. But it's those two sort of super exciting tank battles that takes a long time to become impactful.
Yeah. I mean, I've not got too much there on the excitement factor for Poppy versus Trundle for a laning phase.
I've got an idea for a Trundle skin.
Okay.
But the only problem is it doesn't actually, it isn't going to be understood by so many people.
Okay.
I want them to make a cricket player Trundle. You know, like Shaun of the Dead style. You know, anybody who's seen Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah,
that cricket bat. I'll expand on my idea in a second because Airwaks will find Wisdom, even though it's in Wisdom's jungle. Wisdom's looking for support. Sonstar and Hustlin come up. Winter's Bite will dissuade Airwaks. And to go back to the reason I talk about is South Africa lost to England in the T20 earlier today. It was real close.
I can be happy about this.
Yes.
I can be happy for once. I can be happy about England winning because the little known fact is the UK team is actually called the England team. So I'm happy that they beat South Africa.
You can't claim that just because you're Welsh.
No, I can. There are Welsh players probably in that team. I don't even know. Nobody in Wales cares about cricket enough. But what I do care about is this bottom lane gank. Here goes Sivir.
All right, I'll stay on the game for now. Body slam onto Betsy. Barrel under the tower. Betsy self-casts the tomb as Airwaks looking for Wisdom. It's jungler on jungler combat. Red buff will help him out. Tower shot kills Freddy. It's first blood to Sonstar. Roccat. This dive's gone awry. The Sand Soldiers arise and they conquer Roccat. A triple kill for Sonstar.
Big overcommit from Roccat there, trying to go behind the tower. Some people chased Wisdom out. Some people were stuck in the middle of the fight, and Freddy was stuck between a pillar and a hard place because SmittyJ got himself into the fight as well. They managed to take down the top laner to start it off, and that was such a good start. xPePii wants it.
Oh, he's gonna find it. Emperor's Divide. Sharima sends her regards.
Oh, is this it for Giants? Is this perhaps the beginning of a good setup at this point? Look at this, Roccat want to go in. From here, they don't pick a target straight away. Tower had no aggro on them, so that actually wasn't too much of a problem. But at this point, Roccat come out of the initial dive here, and they just haven't called one focused target here. And Hustlin is able to get down a lot of autos, proc that passive multiple times. Pepinero is doing so much damage from the side, just on these Azir soldiers, not powerful enough really to chunk people down, but that's where Sonstar will take over every single time. 3-0 Lucian now is something to be feared.
It really, really is. Roccat, 2,000 gold, given away by a poorly coordinated, poorly executed dive. And they have to play from the back foot. Luckily for Roccat, they've got good wave clear from Sivir, pretty good wave clear from Lissandra when she can get in range. So that will at least allow them to buy some time. But we've got to make sure that they're in the right lane at the right time.
They, yeah, I mean, xPePii got himself down to the bottom lane fairly quickly there, actually, considering he's no teleport as well. Did roam down. SmittyJ and Freddy want to trade. Freddy...
Extended one. Subjugate's still available for Smitty, though.
Yeah, here comes...
I think he's going to use it.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Look, wow, Tabzz coming in.
There.
There's Smitty. No, holding on. Frozen Domain comes out. Flash away. It was close. It was close.
I mean, it wasn't. It was like a yes or no.
Hey, I never said a time. I said he's going to use it.
Oh,
this
I
game.
See how it is. Okay.
This game.
Wow. That's... There's a rhyme, a word that rhymes with Crepo's first name that describes what you just... It's a fast stretch, but I can't say it on broadcast.
Yeah, you lost me with that one, dude. Too obscure.
Oh, it'll get tweeted.
Too obscure. Rockat's going to even out the tower trade as Sonstar takes the bottom one, Tabzz takes the top. Rockat's still 2k gold down. Essence Reaver already picked up by Sonstar thanks to the triple. A number of pink wards. Now we need to see how Giants use their pink wards.
Yeah, We already had one. Crowd are happy about a pink ward going down. Does not bode well.
Don't mind them.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep it on the down low. Crowd have been very hyped today, actually.
I'm a big fan of the chants. Yeah. Yesterday, the H2K UOL chants that were back and forth, that was like really cool to hear. And then today, Origin Fnatic, that just took it up a whole other notch.
It did. Airwaks is looking to take things up a notch. Maybe.
And again, we mentioned this in Picks and Bans. He likes to play aggressive. He likes to play in the enemy jungle, steals away a camp, adds another stack to the passive.
Had the rest of his team there, though, this time, and had the numbers overlap here as well. It's not like last time they came down to this area of the map where it was even and Roccat overextended. Thing is, this is going to get traded topside. So now Roccat probably going to just swing up to the Dragon here. We'll trade it for the Rift Herald. It should be a fairly even trade between these two teams. That's what I would envision being the play. Airwaks hops over.
Case.
He is in vision, though. There is a pink ward on the Dragon as well.
A small advantage for Roccat as they will get this Dragon. I assume at some point. Yep, Airwaks is just taking a fair amount of damage.
He's Kindred at this point. You can take it.
No worries.
As soon as you get that extra health coming back, it's surprising how low you can go and still be fine.
Right, Rift Herald was secured by Giants over in the top lane. Pretty good vision being placed inside that top quadrant, the red buff area of Roccat, and they'll be trading buffs as Airwaks secures one and backs away. The potential for shenanigans in the middle lane is high, but only if xPePii sticks around. That doesn't seem to be the case.
Trevor, you can't just call shenanigans. You can't just call it needlessly.
I can.
But there's no shenanigans going on.
I said the potential.
Oh, wait, there's going to be shenanigans.
Listen, it was St. Paddy's Day yesterday. I heard a lot of people using the word shenanigans.
Yeah.
That was a stretch. That was
a stretch. I didn't know where you were going on that.
On the hunt, we'll send everybody towards Sonstar. Freddy's got a flash available.
He's
flash pin against the wall.
Though. I mean,
not the most useful of teleports.
Well, I mean, they didn't overcommit this time, which is one thing as a saving grace from Roccat at this point. But you know, they were looking for it, and that's a big TP cooldown used now. smittyj will have his available. He's going to be able to sit out there and stop Freddy from really doing too much in this game. Roccat right now, they're kind of botching a good few engages and invades.
Oh, that's for sure. Roccat are going to have to stall for time because of how far behind they are. Oh, this is going to be trouble for Betsy. Look at this, Wisdom. He's going to find Betsy. Body slam flat, pinned against the wall. Self-cast on the tomb. A knock-up onto Wisdom, and all of a sudden, Wisdom gifts one back.
Oh, gifts one back. This game has suddenly all been about overcommitting to fights here, and you'd have told me that one day Roccat would beat Vitality and the next day be struggling against Giants. I would very much so, like talking about Fedvin and Pekka, called you a liar. Here goes the next fight.
All right, Empress Divide on top of the Lamb's Respite. Airwaks stays alive, flashes away with his life. smittyj and Hustlin come under the tower. It's the 4th kill of the game for Sonstar. Now Noxiak's the target. Unbreakable Will is down, and after Giants looked like that was going to turn around, they managed to come away with another kill in the bag onto Betsy. It was a very good dive from xPePii and Wisdom.
It was a lot better.
Until
xPePii didn't quite get himself, get the Kindred out. So Wisdom dies very early on. This is the initial dive. So that one wasn't so great. The turnaround that comes from Giants here, though, is they chunk Airwaks and know that, well, we can displace him fairly far. Didn't quite get him out of the Lamb's Respite, but smittyj from behind was the big factor on this one. They got the damage down. xPePii swaps himself back out. From here, this game's all going to rely on Sonstar. Pretty much, if Sonstar can get as much damage as he is in these fights out time and time again, Giants should be able to carry this one home. The Azir will provide the later game damage as well, so they should be fine.
Especially with a Trundle Gragas Braum to protect him. Airwaks may be punished. Nobody from Giants is going to chase them over the wall, and Airwaks uses that dance of arrows to escape unscathed, despite playing fairly recklessly. He keeps himself up and going, stacking that stacking the Devourer until it is sated.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot more sated, or Devourer at least, on Kindred. Used to be that you go Warrior into, you know, just standard items, but recently we've been seeing so much more, and obviously you can stack that up off the Rift Scuttler.
I missed.
not so much off the assists of Rift Herald anymore.
No,
It used to be a fairly big factor.
Root in place. That's a
Betsy.
flash forward from Hustlin. Sonstar's the target. He's sent to the base. Already taken down. Teleport will be coming in from xPePii, but it's a double kill for Roccat. They lose one in reply. Betsy's down. Airwaks is trying to run away, but xPePii is dropping the club onto Airwaks for a double kill.
Drops the club. At that point, though, everything falls out as Sonstar was able to, well, dropped at the beginning of that one before xPePii really got into this fight.
Noxiak could be in trouble. No, not going to be chased from xPePii, and Wisdom should be able to deny.
Yeah, Wisdom's going for the execute at this point, but you could see what Roccat were trying to do in the middle lane there, trying to push out, but xPePii got himself back there to clear the waves out. Kept himself alive. Oh, xPePii, you've gone a little too far at this time.
Let's
There's
find
3
out.
people closing.
Cleanse is available, and the divide, the slide, the glide! He makes it out.
I'm not sure why Noxiak flash committed onto that. I mean, xPePii's going to QE himself out of that every single time.
Well, if we could have got in there, unfortunately could not.
No, honestly, I feel like the distance was just too far. Like, I really don't feel like you can close that in that amount of time. I'm going to rewatch it.
See the coaches on screen chatting about the current state of the game. 3,500 advantage for Giants. Stress, as we started the game, you had talked about what this game could mean. Noxiak is in trouble as the culling takes him very low, forces the unbreakable, and the wave is cleared out there by Tabzz Sivir.
Yeah, I really am not keen on what Roccat tried to do there in the middle lane. Freddy flashed over as well. It would have been fine if Noxiak didn't have to come in vision of the minion wave before he actually made it there. Freddy and Noxiak were right at about the same timing that as long as xPePii had no idea, double flash in should have been enough to have locked him down. Problem is, Noxiak gets spotted, rumbles the play, xPePii's out before he even knew Freddy was coming and just made it all too easy for xPePii.
It looked really cool too.
And that's what counts. You know what else looks cool?
Tell me.
When you take down Rift Herald right as Baron's about to spawn.
Yep.
Sick, man.
That's teamwork. Giants are going to secure their second Herald. Roccat looking to secure their second Dragon. Very important for them if they manage to set up any sieges.
Yeah, well, I guess if that's teamwork, we just found out what Rockat's favorite dish was, Dragon. There have been 2 of them in this game so far, all going over to Roccat.
I don't know if it's on the menu at Zanzibar, but we'll have to find out. As Roccat are struggling to come back in this game. Now remember, I was getting to this point before the siege in the middle lane.
Was this before or after the
Giants,
subjugate that you were talking about?
If Giants win this game and G2 win the next one,
okay,
we will have no tiebreakers.
Is there an echo in here?
I know, but I mean, it's a 20-minute delay.
Yeah, I know, it's like 20 minutes.
Just letting you know. Just reminding you. I know you struggle with these pieces of information, Stress.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't written down. Steadfast presence is down. xPePii is turning this one around. Keeper's verdict will knock xPePii up in the air. Airwaks is coming. Lamb's respite maybe needed to save Freddy's life. A flash forward. Can't get in range. The respite comes down. Freddy stays alive. Teleport's coming down for Betsy, and xPePii is still standing. It took 4 members of Roccat to take him down. Hustlin dropped the Fisher, but it will not be enough to extend the fight. And Roccat, wow, they threw everything at xPePii.
But Freddy somehow managed to survive that as well. xPePii ended up dropping with so many members, but Tabzz ultimately ends up taking the mid tower at the same time, so Giants committed a little bit too much maybe to keep xPePii alive. Freddy right there kept himself right on the very small amount. If that buckler hadn't come up, I actually think he probably would have died. We'll take another look at this super extended fight. Freddy right now, just I mean, there's not too much going on there. This is Roccat committing 3 people plus the TP. That's actually fairly big, I will be honest. Interesting
that Wisdom actually did not throw the explosive cask super early. Did the barrel roll first. And catch a glimpse of xPePii clearing out the Krugs, as you do. But very importantly, that kill, plus the fact that they got Sonstar a little earlier, means Roccat is closing that gold lead. They are now down only 1,000 gold at 23 minutes. But, you know, if you step back and you look at both teams, you look at the misplays around the tower dives and the decision-making when it comes to, you know, teleports, you can see why these 2 teams have struggled all split long.
You really can. I mean, the problem is, as we talked about, Giants don't have their identity, and right now for Roccat, they're running a composition that wanted to just go all-out aggressive. And that got slowed down ever since that early dive failed.
Oh, Airwaks manages to dance over the wall. Still playing with his life a little bit as he goes for those invades. And xPePii is terrifying. Trundle into Poppy. Remember, Poppy was picked into Trundle. This was a matchup that Roccat opted into and then went with standard lanes.
Oh, Betsy's got forced away. That's enough to take down the turret.
Noxiak has booted Sonstar back. Airwaks is looking for a kill. Sonstar's exhaust won't take him down. Lamb's Respite will give a heal, but it's xPePii that comes out on top. Tabzz goes down as Sonstar decides to re-engage. A 2-for-1. Here comes xPePii. The Emperor's Divide's already been used. They'll drop Freddy where he stands. Betsy slowed down as he takes the claw to avoid the doom. And it's a 1-for-3.
Betsy just couldn't get to the fight. Giants, maybe the call here is Baron. They are fairly low here. Betsy's no TP, Freddy down for 35 seconds, so Azir will have good clear here. And between Wisdom and Hustlin, they should be able... don't stand all the way behind it. Don't stand behind it. There's more damage from there.
Gonna be...
They will get it and drop fairly low. Nobody from Roccat can take him out. Good call in the end.
Upset week for sure.
Well,
Giants look to upset the apple carts.
Look at Wisdom pushing back Betsy the entire time this fight was going on. And from here, Sonstar, even though he gets the focus down, there was a lot of damage came from Airwaks onto him. While Sonstar was exhausted, good sidestep on the Boomerang Blade here, but Betsy still not able to get into the fight. All the time, the Azir soldiers as well are just zoning him away, and that means Sonstar has enough room that he hasn't got to worry about Lissandra getting into his face and shutting him down. So Giants right now are really reacting quite well to what Roccat are trying to do in this game. They're denying so many engages here with the Azir ultimate, with the Gragas, and with the Trundle.
It's just punishing decisions, basically, is the real theme of this game. When somebody's out of position, when Airwaks gets chunked out in the jungle, doesn't have the support, Giants go very aggressive, set themselves up a dive, and all of that has been enabled by xPePii just constantly pushing these side lanes, constantly drawing attention from Roccat in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about how this is perhaps a test for Giants of if they can do this against a team that you would expect is fairly similar level to their competition now in the promotion tournament. I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, actually, this is looking better from Giants. We haven't really seen xPePii doing these side lane pushes all that often. It was made easier by, Roccat making mistakes, and Betsy's too far up.
For the record, Giants have got more than double the kills in this game than their 3 previous games combined. And a lot of that is thanks to Wisdom trying to make the plays. He's been punished once or twice, but at 25 minutes, the inhibitor turret is down. Keeper's verdict sends only Hustlin away. Wisdom and xPePii are still on the front line. The inhibitor will be the target once Noxiak goes down. Giants have got a minion wave, and they've got only 3 members defending.
50 seconds of Baron is left as well with this wave. This is Nexus Towers going down.
This might just be the game. Emperor's Divide onto Airwaks. Giants, in their final game of the spring split, managed to punish Roccat at every turn. And in 26 minutes, Giants defeat Roccat.